Welcome to IE News and to our viewers on IETVTT.com. I am Micah Dume. Thanks for joining us. In the headlines, Prime Minister says assassination plot probe has expanded beyond Trinidad and Tobago. A homeless man found murdered during Woodbrook warehouse break-in investigation. Star Sabga released from prison and placed under house arrest amid ongoing legal battle. In our top story, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says she cannot comment on the specifics of the ongoing investigation into an alleged plot to assassinate her and senior members of her government, but confirmed that the probe has expanded beyond Trinidad and Tobago. Speaking after the release of businessman Dominic Hadid and his wife Genevieve Hadid, the Prime Minister said the investigation now spans multiple jurisdictions and involves several foreign intelligence and investigative agencies. She said she has been advised that the investigation has grown in both scope and complexity, with new individuals, financial institutions, and businesses identified as part of the expanding probe. The Prime Minister added that because the investigation is ongoing, she is unable to discuss operational details. The Hadids were detained under the state of emergency in connection with the alleged conspiracy, but were released last week after their preventive detention orders were revoked. No criminal charges have been laid against either of them, while investigations continue. Police are investigating the murder of a homeless man whose body was discovered during inquiries into a warehouse break-in at a business compound in Woodbrook. The victim, identified as Peter Simongal, was found beneath a makeshift shelter at an abandoned property behind the Massey Stores warehouse on French Street after security officers responded to reports of a burglary shortly before 3 a.m. on Monday. Investigators said Simongal's hands and feet were bound while a jersey had been wrapped around his neck. Police believe he was strangled. Officers also recovered several boxes of wine believed to have been stolen from the warehouse. Preliminary investigations indicate that suspects gained entry by breaking through a wall from the abandoned property before escaping with merchandise. Police are now investigating whether Simongal was killed after encountering the intruders or if his murder was directly linked to the warehouse burglary. Homicide detectives and officers of the Port of Spain CID are continuing investigators into both the murder and the break-in. Businesswoman Star Sabga has been released from the women's prison at Golden Grove and placed under house arrest after spending just over a month in detention. Her release came late Monday night after a 6-hour stay requested by the state expired, allowing a high court order granting her conditional release to take effect. Sabga was detained under a preventive detention order during the state of emergency as part of an investigation into an alleged plot to assassinate Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar and other senior government officials. She remains subject to the preventive detention order but will now remain at her home under court-imposed conditions while legal proceedings continue. We pause for a moment. More news when we come back.
From the freshness of the ocean, Rainbow has sealed in all the natural, healthy goodness in their canned tuna, sardines, and mackerel. So go ahead, enjoy some crispy sardines, stewed mackerel, or a creamy tuna salad. Because while your tummy enjoys the great taste, your heart and immunity will love the healthy omega-3s, calcium, protein, and more. Rainbow's canned tuna, sardines, and mackerel are 100% real fish, so it's tasty, healthy eating for your body, heart, and mind. Rainbow canned fish.
Expressions Limited, as one of the largest importers of tiles, offers an extensive range of high-quality tiles in ceramic, porcelain, granite, stone, and mosaic options. Additionally, we offer a variety of tile accessories and bathroom sets to complement any decor style. We are committed to providing exceptional customer service and swift delivery of all products. From indoor and outdoor tiles to bathroom sets and tile accessories, we have curated a range that caters to both traditional and modern taste. Lampus 13, Ajudha Road, Munro Road, Canopio. Call 223-8453.
Welcome back. Public Services Association President Felicia Thomas is expressing concern over continued delays in finalizing the payment of negotiated arrears for thousands of public sector employees. In an update to members, Thomas said the PSA requested a meeting with the Chief Personnel Officer to advance discussions, but was informed that the office is still reviewing the union's counter-proposal. She noted that nearly 2 months have passed since the proposal was submitted and 8 months since the settlement agreement was signed, describing the delay as unprecedented in the union's history. The PSA said it remains committed to securing a final resolution and will continue pressing the government to conclude negotiations and settle the outstanding arrears owed to public servants. The Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard has intercepted a pirogue carrying 7 Venezuelan nationals during a routine maritime patrol off the country's northwestern coast. The vessel was stopped in the early hours of Tuesday, July 28th, near Monos Island as part of ongoing border security operations. According to preliminary reports, those on board included 4 adult men, 1 adult woman and 2 minors. Coast Guard officers also recovered assorted food items and other provisions from the vessel. The occupants and the pirogue were handed over to the relevant authorities for processing in accordance with Trinidad and Tobago's immigration laws. The Coast Guard said the operation forms part of its continued efforts to strengthen maritime border security and combat illegal maritime activity and unauthorized entry into the country. Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says increased support from the United States has helped Trinidad and Tobago's protective services contribute to a reported 15% decline in serious crime during 2026. In a social media statement, the Prime Minister praised members of the Police Service, Defense Force, Strategic Services Agency, and Prison Service for their efforts despite what she described as criticism and pressure from criminal elements. She also expressed confidence in the leadership of the country's security agencies, including the Commissioner of Police, the Director of the Strategic Services Agency, the Chief of Defense Staff, and the Commissioner of Prisons. The Prime Minister said the government remains committed to working with international partners to combat organized crime and insisted that no individual will be placed above the law because of wealth, status, or where they live. She added that the administration intends to continue its efforts to dismantle organized criminal networks while ensuring the law is applied equally to all citizens. 2 Trinidad and Tobago nationals have been appointed to an international commission of inquiry established by the government of Guyana to investigate the sinking of the MV Barima as the death toll from the disaster continues to rise. The 5-member commission includes Rear Admiral Hayden Pritchard, former Chief of Defense Staff of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, and Dr. Nairi Dawn Alfonso, a Trinidad and Tobago maritime attorney and specialist in maritime law. Guyanese President Dr. Irfan Ali said the commission will conduct an independent investigation into the ferry disaster, examining the vessel's seaworthiness, maintenance, cargo loading, crew actions, regulatory compliance, and the emergency response, while recommending measures to prevent similar tragedies. Authorities say 73 bodies have been recovered, 76 people rescued, and 30 remain missing from the 179 people believed to have been aboard the vessel when it capsized. Search and recovery operations involving teams from Guyana, Trinidad and Tobago, Brazil, and other regional partners remain ongoing.
And as I committed to do yesterday, I hereby announce the members of the Commission of Inquiry into the circumstances surrounding the capsizing and sinking of the MV Barima and related matters. The members of the Commission are Justice Godfrey Philip Smith of Belize, CARICOM High-Level Representative for Law and Criminal Justice and an ad hoc Justice of the Eastern Caribbean Court of Appeal, who will serve as Chair of the Commission of Inquiry. Dr. Andrzej Jesse Anonski of Poland, naval architect and marine engineer who has advised on investigations into several major maritime disasters. Captain Hamada Fowda, senior maritime surveyor and compliance auditor with the Maritime Authority of Jamaica. Miss Nairi Dawn Alfonso of Trinidad and Tobago, attorney at law with expertise in admiralty and maritime law. Rear Admiral retired Hayden Pritchard of Trinidad and Tobago, a distinguished professional with decades of experience in maritime operations and maritime security. The Commission will determine its own procedures and methods of work, consistent with its mandate.
You're watching IE News. We'll return after these messages.
Attention all bakers, doubles vendors and roti makers. Try our high-quality bromate-free, all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Low price and conveniently packaged in 2 pounds, 2 kg, 10 kg and 25 kg bags. For wholesale and retail prices, contact Shiklisho Limited at 665-3336 or 480-8715 or visit us at Warrenville, Canoopia. Shiklisho Limited, quality you can trust.
Guru Purnima is the sacred occasion to honor the Guru, whose grace removes ignorance, awakens consciousness, and reveals our highest possibilities. It is a powerful time for every disciple to reflect upon the spiritual knowledge, guidance, transformation, and opportunities received from the Guru, and to express heartfelt gratitude through devotion and action. For the disciples of the SPH Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashivam, Guru Purnima is an opportunity to recommit ourselves to his vision of reviving enlightened Hindu civilization and making the sciences of Paramashiva available to humanity. Our gratitude can be offered through dedicated seva, sincere sadhana, pujas, homas, and sacred offerings, sharing transformation stories, and taking the SPH's teachings to seekers worldwide. We warmly invite all devotees to join this very special Guru Purnima Satsang with the SPH live on IETV on July 29th at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Bring your friends and family to receive the Guru's blessings and celebrate this sacred occasion together.
Welcome back. It's time for your sports highlights. Here's a roundup of today's top stories from the local, regional, and international sporting arena. Trinidad and Tobago middle distance runner Nathan Cumberbatch has concluded his Commonwealth Games campaign after competing in the opening round of the men's 800 meters in Glasgow. The 21-year-old produced a time of 1 minute 48.97 seconds in Heat 3, finishing 5th against a strong international field. The performance was not enough to secure qualification to the next round, but Cumberbatch delivered another determined effort on the international stage. Cumberbatch is regarded as one of Trinidad and Tobago's most promising young athletes. He won 800-meter gold at the 2023 Carifta Games and also holds a national record in the 1500 meters. Officials say the experience gained in Glasgow will be valuable as the young athlete continues his development and prepares for future international competitions. Supporters have also congratulated Cumberbatch on his performance and expressed confidence in his future representing Trinidad and Tobago on the world stage. Trinidad and Tobago's newest NBA draft pick, Malik Lewis, paid a courtesy call on Minister of Sport and Youth Affairs Philip Watts as he continues his homecoming visit. Lewis, who was selected 60th overall by the Milwaukee Bucks in the 2026 NBA draft, met with the minister alongside his manager, Jonathan Weeks. The San Fernando-born athlete reflected on his journey, revealing that he left Trinidad and Tobago at the age of 6 and did not begin playing basketball until he was 16. While in Trinidad and Tobago, Lewis plans to meet with local sporting organizations and inspire young athletes by sharing his history. He's also training at the ministry's elite facility in Taquarigua ahead of his rookie NBA season. Let's now take a look at some international news.
A pause in the fighting for now. Iranian and U.S. weapons quiet for a second straight day ahead of a consequential week in Washington. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu heading to the White House Tuesday for a meeting with President Trump. U.S. Ambassador to the UN Mike Waltz saying today the lull in fighting is designed to give peace talks some space after claiming diplomatic activity had ramped up between both sides.
Talks are ongoing. They're happening at every level, from the more technical aspect of it all the way to the highest levels.
But tonight, a New York Times report says Trump is also pulling back from escalations with Iran for fear it could dangerously drain the Pentagon's already diminished stockpile of Patriot anti-missile interceptors, crucial for protecting U.S. assets in the region. Today, the U.S. ambassador pushing back on that reporting.
I want to be crystal clear. The U.S. military, and I've verified this every which way, has everything that it needs to conduct this campaign as effectively as it needs to be.
The White House also telling ABC News in part, President Trump has always been consistent in saying he prefers a diplomatic solution, but it would be wise for Iran to work towards a negotiated deal, otherwise they know what will happen. Overnight, ABC confirming all 4 service members killed in Jordan and Iraq this week received posthumous promotions, including Tyler Feehan, promoted to captain. You can see Feehan here when he was commissioned as an officer in the Army, saluting his grandfather. His grandfather died on Thursday, 5 days after Feehan. The family telling us the two of them are now together again.
Tonight, police surrounding this mangled car they say was used in that deadly terror attack in Germany at a pride parade that killed 1 person and injured over 2 dozen. It took authorities less than 24 hours to track down a suspect on the west side of the city. He was shot and killed after charging at police with a knife. Police are now investigating whether there was another suspect involved. The attack unfolded on Saturday as thousands were celebrating Pride in Berlin for the Christopher Street Day Festival. Police say just before 10 p.m. the attacker drove a white van through Tiergarten Park, right alongside the parade route, slamming into people before hitting a tree. The driver then got out and, armed with a machete, began slashing at bystanders before fleeing, according to authorities. Event organisers seen on stage ending a performance as the manhunt began. Investigators identifying the suspect as 21-year-old Abdul B, saying he had ties to Islamist extremism. Tonight, tributes pouring in from across Germany for the victims, a growing memorial at the scene. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz calling it a despicable act, telling the country, let us not let ourselves be intimidated.
Tonight, gas prices spiking across the U.S. once again, amid threats of an escalating war with Iran. After nearly 2 weeks of trading deadly strikes, the U.S. and Iran have, at least for now, paused their daily attacks. But while American and Iranian weapons have gone quiet, the Houthis, an Iranian proxy group in Yemen, opening up a new front in the conflict, targeting Saudi oil exports, claiming they hit state-run oil operations in the Saudi kingdom. This week, declaring a maritime blockade on Saudi-linked shipping in the Red Sea's Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a vital trade route. Saudi Arabia releasing this video of what it says are their patrols. President Trump meeting with his national security team on Friday to discuss next steps, saying this week he's considering a massive attack on Iran.
There's 2 ways. I mean, it's you can just keep doing exactly what we're doing and take them apart piece by piece. We can do it in a more rapid fashion, which we might do, or we can negotiate with them, which we're also doing right now.
The president saying the U.S. is still in touch with the Iranians and insisting, yet again, that they are desperate to make a deal. All of this causing gas prices to surge.
To see prices reaching over $5, close to $6 is rough.
The national average, again, more than $4 per gallon, and expected to keep rising. Diesel, again, over $5 a gallon. Gas prices in California, nearly $6 a gallon, the highest in the country.
When we return, your weather updates and more, stay tuned.
In Introducing Signature Marine Coatings. We bring you premium marine solutions powered by PPG coatings, including anti-fouling protection, high-grade epoxy systems, fiberglass materials, and complete marine refinishing supplies. Protect, enhance, and maximize the performance of your vessel with products you can trust. Get the finish your vessel deserves. We are located at Tardy Marine Limited in Chagaramas. Call us today at 2900-654 or email at signaturepaints@hotmail.com.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimati Lakshmi Shukla and family cordially invites you and your family to one night of Bhagavad Mahapuran Katha in memory of the late Pandit Chandrabose Shukla's 60th death anniversary, to be held on July 31st, 2026 from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at their residence, Moraldo Tres Sambuco, Santa Cruz. Officiating will be Pandit Umarat Maharaj of Swaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Live broadcast on IETV. Jai Shri Krishna. Swaha wishes to advise of the passing of Mrs. Bhanmati Prasad, the wife of the Paramachar of Swaha, Pandit Haridev Prasad. The Antyeshti Sanskar funeral service will take place at the family home, Bhanu Bhavan, 21 Shoti Street, Arangwes, on Wednesday, 29th of July from 9 a.m., followed by cremation at Karani. Jai Shri Krishna.
Welcome back to IE's Major News. Let's take a look at today's weather forecast.
Today was generally warm and mostly cloudy across Trinidad and Tobago, with occasional sunny intervals giving way to increasing cloudiness throughout the day. A few scattered showers affected several districts during the morning and afternoon, although many areas experienced extended dry periods. Temperatures reached approximately 31 to 32 degrees Celsius, while overnight lows are expected to settle between 24 and 25 degrees Celsius. Moderate easterly winds persisted throughout the day, occasionally becoming fresh and gusty near passing showers. A moderate concentration of Saharan dust remained present, contributing to slightly hazy conditions at times. Sea conditions remained moderate, with offshore wave heights between 1.0 and 2.0 meters and below 1.0 meter in sheltered coastal waters. Overall, conditions remained warm, humid and breezy, with only isolated shower activity. Tonight is expected to become generally fair to partly cloudy, although a few isolated showers may develop during the late evening and overnight hours. Warm and humid conditions will continue, with moderate easterly winds of 15 to 25 kilometers per hour. Marine conditions are expected to remain moderate, with offshore seas between 1.5 and 2.0 meters and below 1.0 meter in sheltered areas. A moderate concentration of Saharan dust is expected to linger overnight, reducing visibility slightly in some locations. Small craft operators should continue to exercise caution in open waters where seas may occasionally become choppy. Wednesday is expected to begin with a mixture of sunshine and cloudiness, with the likelihood of a few morning showers and the possibility of an isolated thunderstorm. As the day progresses, the skies will remain partly to mostly cloudy, with a few additional afternoon showers. Temperatures are forecast to reach approximately 31 to 32 degrees Celsius, with warm and humid conditions persisting throughout the day. Moderate easterly winds will continue becoming fresh and occasionally gusty near heavier showers or thunderstorms. Sea conditions are expected to remain moderate, with offshore wave heights between 1.0 and 2.0 meters and below 1.0 meter in sheltered coastal waters. Overall, Wednesday is expected to be warm and breezy, with intervals of sunshine interrupted by scattered showers and a slight chance of an isolated thunderstorm activity.
Let's take a look at some crime news.
An errand man has appeared before a High Court master charge with the offence of larceny of a boat. Nicholas Ayau, 32 of Patina Village, Erin, appeared before Master Margaret Sukraj Goswami in the Princestown High Court on Friday, 24th July. Charged with larceny of a boat, he was granted bail in the sum of $60,000. The charge stems from a report made by the victim on July 17th. According to the report, the victim and an employee had dry docked his 28-foot pirogue valued at $55,000 along the Grand Cayman coastline before retiring from the day. At approximately 3:05 a.m. on 21st July, the victim received information that someone was attempting to steal the vessel. The pirogue was subsequently found approximately 1,200 feet along the coastline in the water. An engine, which did not belong to the victim, and a plastic barrel containing fuel were also recovered. The items were taken to the Moruga police station for safekeeping. Following investigations, Nicholas Ayau was arrested on the 21st of July, 2026, with the direct supervision of Corporal Rupnarain and PC Guerrero. A file was submitted and Superintendent Bridgewell gave instructions for Ayau to be charged with the offence of larceny of a boat. The matter was transferred to the Princestown Magistrates Court, where it is scheduled to be heard again on 28th August. 3 firearms and quantities of ammunition and narcotics were seized during ongoing weekend Operation Resolute exercises conducted by officers in the Central, Northern, North Central and Southwestern divisions. In the first exercise, task force officers of the Central Division, with the assistance of personnel of the Caroni Police Station Criminal Investigations Department and K9 Unit, conducted an exercise between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Friday, 24th July. During the exercise, the officers proceeded to Kelly Village, where they conducted a search of a riverbank where they found one 12-gauge shotgun concealed in a blue bag. In the North Central Division, CID operations personnel conducted an exercise between 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. on Friday, 24th July, during which they proceeded to Page Street. There, they conducted a search of a bushy area where they found a black plastic bag containing 1 pound of cannabis. Meanwhile, in the Northern North Division, task force officers conducted an exercise between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. on Saturday, 25th July, during which they proceeded to Alton Road, Rima. There, they observed a man holding an object that appeared to be a firearm. The man is alleged to have looked in the direction of the approaching officers and dropped the object before making his escape into nearby bushes. A search of the area resulted in the discovery of 1 pistol loaded with a magazine containing 10 rounds of ammunition. And in the Southwestern Division, officers of the Point Fortin CID conducted an exercise around 5 p.m. during which they proceeded to the Cap de Ville district. There, they conducted a search in the vicinity of an apartment building. The search resulted in the discovery of 1 revolver in a bushy area. Investigations are ongoing into the above matters. An intelligence-led Operation Resolute Shield exercise conducted in the Northern North Division has resulted in the arrest of 2 suspects wanted in connection with several reports of housebreaking and larceny offences. The exercise was conducted by officers of the Northern North Division CID and Task Force between 8:45 p.m. and 10:15 p.m. on Saturday, 25th July. During the exercise, officers arrested a 36-year-old man and a 34-year-old man, both of Arima, in relation to a report of housebreaking and larceny offense, which occurred on Saturday, 25th July.
Recapping the headlines, Prime Minister says assassination plot probe has expanded beyond Trinidad and Tobago. A homeless man found murdered during Woodbrook warehouse break-in investigation. Star Sabga released from prison and placed under house arrest amid ongoing. Well, this is where we leave you for now. On behalf of the entire news team, I am Micah Dume. Thank you for joining us.